We have deformed dogs for our own amusement. This is the Bull Terrier from 100 years ago. Pretty normal, right? Athletic, slim, looking good. Here he is today. I mean, look at him! It looks like Voldemort before and after putting on makeup. Have you ever looked at these poor creatures with, let's be frank, the survivability chance of 0 and wondered how they came to exist in the first place? Humanity has been responsible for the extinction of many animals and the multiplication of a handful of others. But there is one species that wouldn't have even existed if it wasn't for man. Well, there might be a couple, but today we are talking about doggos. About 40,000 years ago, when our Paleolithic ancestors first came to Eurasia, they came across wolves who were incredibly successful. These predators that could smell anything from miles away, like humans, lived and hunted together in large family units. They could intelligently cooperate together to take down larger prey. But when humans encroached on their territory, they were no longer the top dog. Humans started to hunt their prey and lots of wolves went hungry. But for some wolves, all of this wasn't bad news. The runts of the litter, the ones without a pack, followed the humans from camp to camp to scavenge for their leftovers. Over many generations, the less aggressive wolves who managed to get closer to the human camps survived and outlived their more hangry brethrens. The humans too started to use these tame wolves that lingered around their camps. They were good at sounding the alarm if another human tribe was encroaching on the territory. And their great sense of smell helped humans find prey that was further away. The ingrained social intelligence of wolves allowed them to integrate into the human family structure, and they easily learned how to follow human commands. Eventually, instead of just lingering on the outskirts of the human camps, some of them found homes in the human dwellings, and thus the wolf was domesticated and the doggo was born. But these early dogs were not at all too dissimilar to their wild cousins. They were only slightly smaller and had shorter snouts. But over the years, as humans specialized in different fields of work, they started to look for traits in their trusting companions that would benefit them the most in their field of work. Some professions required dogs with a keener sense of smell. Others required dogs that were able to run faster for a longer period of time. And traits that would improve the health and intelligence of these dogs were universally sought after. But eventually, somewhere along the lines, people stopped breeding dogs for functionality, but rather to be cute. And cuteness by itself is perfectly fine. There are a lot of cute animals in nature. A lot of them actually developed childlike features to make them look cuter to humans in order to get an evolutionary edge on animals that are, well, frankly, less cute. But while these animals naturally developed these traits over many years of breeding with other animals who were able to survive in the wild, we humans have taken it to the next level. We also speed up the process by just inbreeding these poor souls with their close relatives. Yes, even their parents and siblings. Which increases the chance of new genetic mutations and deformities, making the poor animals even more brittle and dependent on their insane masters. Do you see this dog? Yeah, that's a pretty normal looking dog. You can tell by the size and position of its eyes, ears and snout that it doesn't look too dissimilar to its ancestor, the wolf. Now, let's have a look at the pug. Someone thought it was a good idea to keep squishing the poor dog's face until it became permanently flattened. And yes, he looks very cute. But have you ever wondered why the pug has that permanent visage of dissatisfaction? It's because the poor guys can't even breathe properly. Have you ever heard a pug breathe? Their whole lives, they're panting for air, and we just think that's cute. As well as breathing difficulties, they suffer from overheating and dental problems. Their cute curl-up tail, that's a cry for help, because their entire spine is deformed and they're constantly in pain and at risk of suffering from back-leg paralysis. Cavalier King Charles Spaniels. These cute and affectionate love balls are actually very intelligent, and they have a pretty big brain. But don't they just have such a cute and tiny head? Ugh. Oh yeah, we've made their skulls too small to fit their brain in. Their brain is constantly being squeezed out towards their spinal cord, causing them pain and occasionally even facial nerve paralysis. sausage dogs, or Dachshund. I'm just going to call them sausage dogs. These guys used to be great hunters in their own time, chasing after rabbits and squirrels and other burrowing animals. Now these guys always had longer bodies and shorter legs compared to most dogs, as you can see from the picture. But just look at what we've done to them. I mean, he doesn't need the legs anymore. It's probably better off just crawling like a worm. Not only has this disabled the poor animals from being able to maneuver over any obstacle that's only a few inches off the ground, but these changes have put them at an incredibly high risk of intervertebral disc disease and spinal damage. Bulldog. Once a proud breed, these fit and healthy dogs could go toe-to-toe against fighting bulls. But they were selectively bred to be so wide and so short that today they are incapable of mating without medical assistance. Their heads are so big that they can't give birth without cesarean section. Their tails can become ingrown, their hips are displaced, and their average life expectancy is only 6 years. And like the pug, they also suffer from breathing and overheating problems. The Basset Hound. Oh god, I mean, just look at him. His whole body is just a scream of sorrow. After a dog show in 1863, there was a growing demand to make his ears longer and generally increase his droopy look. Today, his excessive droopiness is causing him serious skin and eye problems. Remember the Bull Terrier? Well, along with the physical deformities which caused them dental problems and skin rashes, we were also kind enough to give them some mental deformities to boot as well. So next time you hear purebred, think inbred, because that's just what it is.